back today for another little quick 10-minute class. This one aimed at some core strength and stability. So mostly laying down or at least staying pretty close to the ground. I welcome you to modify anything that you may need to. I will offer those as we go throughout. And yeah, it's a nice little quick, short and sharp series so you can get on with it, get back to your day, to whatever you'd rather be doing. But hopefully you're looking forward to this. So if you would like to put some music on, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, make your way onto your back with your feet planted on the floor, hands down by your side, and everything in the lower body, so knees and feet in line with your hips. Let's press the hands into the mat and slide your fingers towards your heels. I'm just having trouble finding my words today. All right, so we'll go for a tuck of the tailbone. Draw the belly in, so feel the belly just draw down towards the floor. Press through your heels, squeeze your bottom to lift your hips up. And then slowly melt spine all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. So inhale, press through your feet, squeeze your bottom as you lift your hips. And then exhale to melt all the way back to the floor. Nice, we'll just do two more like that. Squeezing your bum, lifting up. Exhale, melt it down. One more time, let's lift up and hold. Beautiful, continue to breathe. Let's go for a little lower of the hips, just an inch, and then squeeze to lift. A little lower, squeeze to lift. So you're really pressing your heels into the floor, almost thinking about driving your knees over your toes. So you get the back of the legs nice and warm and engaged. And just noticing if your knees starting to fall out to the side of the room, almost feeling like you're squeezing the upper inner thighs towards each other. Let's go for 3, for 2. Last one, you're going to hold at the top. Really nice. Now squeeze your thighs towards each other and then just release it. Little squeeze in, little release. We're not trying to bring the knees together, thinking the upper thighs squeeze into each other. Let's go for 2. Last one. Melt all the way down until your hips land. Really nice. Just go for a little sway of your knees from right to left. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Lovely. All right, let's draw the belly in. So thinking belly button in and up. Thinking of your lowest ribs, trying to connect to the top of your hip bones. So you might feel your lower back sort of lengthen along the floor. From that nice little bit of activating the core, we're going to lift the right leg to tabletop and then lift the left leg to tabletop. Nothing should change in your lower abdominals or your lower back. Hands can come a little bit wider, so maybe creating like that upside down V. And if you like, flip your palms to face up. Draw your shoulders down and back. Make sure your knees stay over your hips. And if you can, try to bring your ankles in line with your knees so they're not sort of on this diagonal. You want to try and have them at that 90-degree angle. So here we'll draw the belly in and then go for a pendulum. So your knees will go to one side. Your opposite sit bone will lift just off the floor, thinking of squeezing your rib to your hip. As you exhale, come back to center. And then take the knees to the other side. And then the other rib to hip drawing together as you exhale back to center. So you want to imagine that the floor is following you here as you pendulum your legs from side to side. Try not to press through your arms too much. You want the work to be happening in the abdominals. We're not trying to touch the floor with our thighs, so I don't think you have to go really far each time you go to each side. Let's go for 2 more each way. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale to the side. Exhale to center. One more time. Come back to center and hold here. You can bring your hands back closer to your hips. Beautiful. From here, let's tap the right toes to the floor. Lift the knee back to tabletop. Left toes to the floor. Lift the leg back. Now you can see I've got this terrible habit of lifting my shin, so it's a challenge for everybody, I'm sure. Quite tempting to lift the toes higher. If you can, try to keep that 90-degree angle at the knee. Beautiful. Keep going here. Maybe start to reach the fingertips past your hips. Lift your head and shoulders. Finding a little tiny abdominal curl. So still working lower abdominals, but now also starting to get into the upper abdominals. If it feels better to have your hands behind your head, go for it. And of course, if you prefer to have your head and shoulders down, that is also fine. If you feel like you need a bit more of a connection of your thighs to your abdominals, so you can really feel those lower abdominals working, you can bring your hands to your thighs, and as one toe taps, the other thigh and hand press towards each other. So you should feel that connection to the deep abdominals. You can also do this here if you want to have your head and shoulders lifted. Totally fine, we've got lots of options. Let's go for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Holding it here. Same thing, either head up or head down, hands on thighs or hands behind the head. We're going to extend one leg long. Bend it in. Extend the other. Bend it in. Let's just go 4, 3, 2. Last 1. Holding here. Hands come behind the head. Try to get your head to be heavy. Shoulders relaxing down. Keep thinking ribs through hips, belly drawing in. Let's extend both legs long. Bend back to tabletop. Extend both legs long. Back to tabletop. You can stay here if you like. Remember, head and shoulders can be down. But if you'd like a little more, we're going to reach the arms overhead as the legs reach. And then you'll circle the hands to the shins and try and pull yourself up a little bit higher into that abdominal curl. And then reach, see if you can keep the shoulders lifted. Circle it in. So you're making a big long line, like a V almost. And then curling yourself into this little ball. We've just got 4, 3, 2. Last 1. Circle it in. Lower your head and shoulders. Go for a little rock from side to side. Beautiful. From here, let's hug the knees in. Exhale as you curl up your forehead to your knees. Try to keep your heels close to your bum as you rock and roll along your spine. See if you can keep your forehead and your knees quite close. And then the next time you come up, can you balance on your sit bones? Maybe your feet just tap the floor as you find your seat. Bring your hands behind your thighs. We come into like a little boat pose or a modified teaser. So keep scooping the belly, a little C curve in your lower back. Open your shoulders, draw the shoulder blades back. Feel your chest broadening. Maybe extending one leg long. Maybe both legs, so coming to more of a V sit. Maybe one arm lifts long. Maybe both. Strong through the legs, squeeze your thighs, draw the belly in, keep breathing. And then cross your ankles. Roll over into a 4-point heel or a tabletop position. Your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Beautiful. All right, from here, tuck your toes, spine nice and long. Push the floor away, feel your shoulder blades separate and give the ground a little bit of a claw. So you're trying to grasp the mat with your fingertips. Separate your shoulder blades so you're really pushing the floor away. Again, belly is in, and on your exhale, hover your knees just off the mat. Tap them down. Little lift, little tap. little lift, little tap. We'll just go 4, 3, 2. Hold the lift on 1. Can you take one leg long? Take the other leg long, finding a plank. Now you can modify, so you're in a kneeling plank, totally fine. From here, whichever one you're choosing to be in, we're going to go for a little hip dip. So you're going to just rock your hips to one side, back to center, other side, center. If you're on your toes, the heels are kind of leading the way. If you need to take your feet wider in your plank, go for it. Keep pushing the floor away so you're strong through your shoulders. Let's go for 3, for 2. Last one, we're going to take the heels to the right and hold. Drop your right knee down. Lift your left arm, finding a little kneeling side kick. So your right toes are behind, you're facing out to the side. Beautiful. From here, lift that top leg, tap it down. Little lift, little tap. Squeeze your thigh, squeeze your bum. Try not to sink into your right hand, so try to really press out of that right shoulder, drawing the belly in. Last one. As your left foot comes down, hold it here and just shimmy that right knee a little bit closer to your left foot, so it's not quite right underneath your hip. Press through that left foot, press through your right arm, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Can you lift that bottom knee up? Tap it down. Lift it up. Tap it down. Making a little rainbow shape with your right side waist. Next time you lift, hold. Take your right foot behind your left. Bring your left hand down to the floor. Beautiful. From here, take your right foot in front of your left. And then try to wrap your right hip further around towards your left armpit. And then try to push your left shoulder towards the floor. Little twisted plank hold here for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful. Turn your hips to the floor, uncross the legs, lift your hips high, little down dog, and then come all the way down to your 4-point kneeling. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll tuck the toes. Take that nice big inhale, lengthen through the spine, push the floor away. Exhale, lift the knees, tap down, lift and tap. Just for 2. Last one, we're holding here. One leg goes long, other leg goes long, finding your plank. I'm wiggling off my mat. Okay, and then go for those hip dips. Either heels go from side to side, or knees are down, and the hips just sway. Still getting that little lift through the belly. Same motion, same muscles. Let's go for 2 more. The next time you go to your left, hold it there. I'm just going to spin myself around. Beautiful. Drop your left knee down. Reach your right arm to the ceiling, holding here. Press through your left arm, shoulder away from your ear. Top leg lifts and taps. Right leg lift and tap. So it's already trying to feel that little banana shape in your lower side waist. One more time. Foot comes down, beautiful. Just shimmy that left knee a little bit closer to your right foot. Now if this is not feeling good for your wrist, come down to your forearm, totally fine. And then we just lift that knee up and down. Little lift and lower. If you prefer, that feels a bit weird, you can just lift the hips up and down with both knees on the mat. Beautiful. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Step your left foot behind, finding that nice side plank. Bring your right hand to the floor and then cross your left foot in front of your right. Wrap your hips around to the right. Your right shoulder presses towards the floor. Breathe in, holding, 3, 2, and 1. Uncross the legs facing the floor, knees down, bum to heels. Breathing in here in your child's pose. Beautiful. When you're ready, just snaking forward, coming all the way down onto your belly. Take your hands off to the side of your mat. Really press through the tops of your feet. Squeeze your bum, squeeze your thighs. Using your lower body as an anchor. As you inhale, think of lengthening your spine out of your pelvis, reaching the crown of the head long, and then lifting the chest, finding a cobra, and then melt all the way down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just 2 more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Press your hips back to your heels. Very gently finding a shell stretch or child's pose. Slowly round yourself up. Coming up to a nice comfortable seat. Take your right hand down by your side. Left arm reaches up and over, stretching out your left side. And then just coming up to center. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Coming all the way up. Let's reach to the ceiling 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale to the right, finding a twist. Left hand to thigh, right hand behind you. Just taking a breath here. On your next inhale, reach back to the ceiling. And then exhale, twist the other way. On your next inhale, reach to the ceiling. And then hands come down by your side. Giving your body a little shimmy, a little roll, a little shake. Nice and quick today. That's it. Thank you so much. Feel free to repeat or maybe extend each section if you wish. But we'll be adding to this little short 10-minute series in the next week or so. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.